Hello, I am the Wrestling Man, and welcome to today's show. Today's show, I am interviewing Devin James, owner of IWA Pro Wrestling Ohio. We are here at Third Rock Vapor Store in the lovely, beautiful downtown Chillicothe. And this place is one of the sponsors for IWA. Devin?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing okay. I want to clarify one thing. I'm not the only owner. There is another owner to IWA. Hi, Brenda.
I'm sure, first thing right off the bat, a lot of my fans are going to want to know because I normally cover WWE stuff. Probably wondering why I'm covering IWA. IWA is a local promotion to me. I live, of course, here in Chillicothe. More or less, they are based out of Chillicothe. For a little bit more of a history, maybe you can go on ahead and fill in my audience.
Okay, well, IWA is the oldest independently owned promotion in the state of Ohio. It basically started the indie circuit here in Ohio, and it was started by Bull Miller, who passed away earlier this year. Great man, loved the sport. He loved wrestling, and to him, he was a wrestling purist. So, being a wrestling purist, I think anybody's a wrestling fan knows what a wrestling purist is. When guys would do crazy things, Bull would look at them like they had three heads. He didn't want, he wanted to see pure wrestling.
So he looked at wrestling kind of how Cornette does.
Yes. When he passed away earlier this year, the company was running out of a high school gym over in Williamsport, Ohio. Actually, community gym, not really a high school gym, community gym. And there was a lot of talk about what the future of the IWA was going to be. The other owners came to me and asked if I would, help to restructure the IWA and bring it back to prominence, and that's what we've done. We've worked together to rebuild this company, and one of the first moves we made was to take it out of the Williamsport gym and bring it back to Chillicothe, because Chillicothe was the roots of the IWA. Yes, it was actually out of Columbus, but most of its shows were done here in Chillicothe. Some of you may even remember the backstage bar is where most of the shows went down here in Chillicothe.
I remember those. This was, I think, second Thursday of every month, or second to last Thursday of every month. Something they were out there in backstage. I remember. Yes. It's funny you mentioned, and I don't mean funny, funny kind of ironic sort of way of funny that you mentioned Bull passing. I've met him a few times. I've seen a few of the shows back when you guys were out of the backstage, and I loved everything I saw. I think I was talking last time I talked to Bull, it was when you guys were just really starting to get, I think, a cruiserweight division, basically, like an ultra lightweight division, and I was looking to join with you guys because I had moved down here and was getting tired of traveling 7 hours back and forth just to do, a couple shows a week. When I lived for the company I worked for up in Findlay. So that's how I first found out about you guys.
Well, the cruiserweight division is still in play. We're still moving forward with that. I think we're going to go away from that a little bit into more like an X division type of thing.
All right. Anywho, as we were saying, like I said, I met Bull a couple of times, talked with him. I think he was actually said something about he was willing to train me. Just because he figured I might not have been trained well enough.
Okay.
I'm coming from an underground scene kind of guy, so.
Yeah, that was Bull. I mean, if he saw somebody who he thought was going to do something dangerous or stupid, he would try to fix that. But unfortunately, Bull is no longer with us. The company still honors Bull, and we still remember Bull's legacy to this company. But the IWA is moving forward. We're moving forward because, unfortunately, we can't bring him back. So we're moving forward and into bigger things. So one of the things that we've done is we've added lighting effects, fog machines into our shows. We've redone the completely redone the ring so that it's 100% safety insured, and we are a family-friendly show. We make it a point to make it so that you can come out at 65 years old, or you can come out at 5 years old and still get an enjoyable entertainment experience. Our guys are trained. We make sure of that. We also have a training school of our own. But the biggest thing is that when our guys get in the ring, they're professionals, and we won't accept anything but professional behavior from them. They're good at their job. We have a few guys who are young. They're just coming into the business, and they're going to make mistakes, but they are professionals. They've been trained. So, we really have a pretty dynamic roster right now. The guys really seem to enjoy coming to the shows, and I'll be honest with you, wrestling is a bug. Once you catch it, you're never getting over that addiction. So, you go from one show to the next, and all you're thinking about is the next show. As soon as the first show's over, you're thinking about the next show. So these guys live, eat, sleep, and breathe wrestling, and they travel a lot of times from 4 or 5 hours away to come and wrestle for free or next to free. These guys put their bodies on the line. Their hearts are in it. Their minds are in it. And when we put on a show, we put on the best show possible for your money value. So, and our tickets, we keep our tickets reasonable. $8 in advance, $10 at the door for general admission tickets. Elite tickets, $12 in advance, $8 or $15 at the door. And we even sold this show. We started selling VIP tables, which comes with your food, your drinks, and everything, and a table for four for $100. So I mean, there's a lot that goes into our shows now. We are at Triple Crown Sports on the indoor soccer field. So we have a big venue, and it's nice because it's kind of soundproofed with all the glass around the soccer field. So what goes on in there kind of stays in there, and everything else stays outside. We don't hear interference from the outside noise.
Yeah, I knew that was one of my first questions when I first started talking to your guys' social media director. Mm-hmm. I started looking up recently different wrestling promotions in the state of Ohio, trying to find one that was local to me.
Okay.
That I could possibly even start doing some work like I am how I am right now. Mm-hmm. Sit down doing some interviews, maybe doing a long-term promotional thing where, I sit down maybe once a month or so with one of your guys' talent, do some sort of live stream or something like that where, it gives people a chance to meet your guys' talent and, gives them a chance to meet some of the people that might be interested in coming to your guys' shows while if they're passing through.
Okay.
Plus, it'll help give both you guys and them some bigger exposure. I do have some people in Britain who follow me regularly. Plus, I do work with other online publications.
Okay.
One of them is a kind of like a dirt sheet, air quotes here, dirt sheet style news organization called bodyslam.net.
Okay.
Familiar
with them.
I would say they broke the XFL story earlier this year. That's the company that first broke the XFL story. Mm-hmm. That Vince was supposedly going to was looking to possibly restart the XFL earlier this year.
Well, I think Vince McMahon's done about everything there is to do in the wrestling business, so maybe football's his next venture.
Well, he tried that about 20 years ago, though.
I remember. Didn't work out so well.
No, it didn't.
So, but creativity-wise, Vince McMahon's a genius. So
oh yeah, I'm not saying he's not.
So,
I mean, but let's face it, that man's probably had just as many failures as he's had successes. Mm-hmm. But then again,
but that's business.
I was
the world of business, if you get two successes to every 5 failures, you're good.
Yeah.
So.
Because I remember the old BWF or BFW or whatever it was, mm-hmm. the bodybuilding thing back in the early 90s. Some of my younger fans probably won't remember that, but going back though to the topic, I also know here on August 11th, you guys have a show coming up.
We do. Battle Lines. Show my picture. Okay, show my poster?
Yeah.
Battle Lines. This is our next show, August 11th. Excuse me. Bell time 7 o'clock. You can get in with a general admission ticket at 6:30. We have a meet and greet at 6 o'clock for anybody who has an elite ticket or a VIP ticket. so they can get in at 6 o'clock. This show, last show we did, Red, White, and Bruce, I'll be honest with you, the stage really got set for some pretty big heat coming into battle lines, and the lines really did get drawn. So our main event that night is a title versus career match. The former champion Charlie Brown has put his career on the line against the current champion JD Blaze for one more shot at that belt. If Charlie loses, he has to retire from IWA forever. He can never come back. And that was the condition that was put on this match. We've got an intergender tag team match coming in. That's going to be pretty dynamic. We've got tag team championships on the line. We've got the American Pitbull Guile Castle's going to be there, and everybody loves to watch him wrestle, but I think they love his dog just as much as they love him. So he brings his beautiful pit bull with him to the ring. So and she's definitely a dynamic pup. But
man, that takes me back